Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and we got ourselves a new joystick here from Avkans. This is the big industrial strength PTZ for IP cameras, serial cameras, as well as NDI ones. I don't see an actual model number on here, but oh well, we're gonna go ahead with it. They just sent this to me. Again, these are my opinions on own. This is not being reviewed by them before it gets posted or none of this fun stuff. So, and it's actually Sunday morning, so you never know. We might be able to do a little bit different in this video. Instead of me just testing out here, might just take it to church and show you hooking it up to existing cameras that are used with a daisy chain RS-232 connection and see how it would be with this. I ain't giving it to them, but because I actually needed another joystick. But anyway, thank you Avkans for sending this to me. So let's go ahead and open this up and let's see what's inside. We got our manual, and it says it's a touch screen too, so that's kind of cool. A letter there from Avkans Tech Support. Looks like we have your own kind of, like, if you wanted to make your own connection here, the supplies for this. I used to do this back in the day. So you can make your own type of, I don't know what connection this is. This looks like this is a tally light or something, but it gave you some supplies for that. Maybe one day we might play around with that. Put that back over here. Got a power cable here with an adapter here for the US. I'm sure if you get this for a different region, you would have the equivalent plug for that. And good Lord, this joint is huge. Wow. Let's get this out of the way so we can have some more space here. Great day. This is a this is a big one. Hold on. Let's punch in a little bit here. And this is the reason why I said I wanted another joystick so I don't have to keep running back and forth and doing this. So let's look through the I/O first. So we got a power cable, we got our DCN, USB, interesting. NDI, so Ethernet for that, 4 RJ45s for RS-422 or 485 connection. Tally, I believe that's what that adapter was. That's for making your own tally connection. For those who don't know tally, tally is the signal that will send a light when on the camera if it's supported, or any other device that you can add, so people will know, the talent will know, or the ministers will know, whoever will know that this is the camera that's currently active. The Blackmagic ones have those built in. The camera I'm looking at right now has it, but there's no signal to send it. So something like this could be set up to do that. Then you have your RS-232 connection. Flipping on the back, we got just got some feet, and we got some kind of labeling of which pin is which on here. And that's mainly it. And I'm assuming that this is IP powered. So let's go ahead and I need a cable that I can connect to my PoE switch under the table. I normally have one that's exposed, but I don't know where that is, but oh well. So I am connecting over here to my PoE switch, connected to the IP. And good thing is this one now you actually do need to flip the on. So that's fine. Really like a lot of the stuff, and I didn't even go over the buttons here. Maybe let's turn this off so it's easier to see. So we got our auto white balance button, OP auto white balance, don't know what that is, ABB, automatic exposure, backlight, autofocus, OP autofocus, again don't know what that one is. You have groups, camera, add, inquiry, and search. You got your toggle wheel for zooming in and out. You have a wheel for focus, okay, and you have your speed for either one of these on how fast this will go in. Your joystick, it does twist. I'm assuming this is also your zoom in and out. You have a speed for the movement of the camera. You got your program buttons, your store, delete, lock, quick call, your preset, reset, so you can set and call other functions with your camera here. And let me turn my other camera on so we can play around with that, because my cameras already have presets in them, and the presets are saved to the camera, so the joystick is just engaging those. We have some aux buttons, so I'm assuming like the other one that I have, the other AVCans one I have, these may be quick access to go to cameras. You have camera button, camera power, excuse me, preview, so it should show a preview of the camera if you set it up right. The on-screen display for the camera, and you got 6 auxiliary buttons that you can set. So maybe these could be turn on and off your AI and stuff like that. All right, so now let's power it on. And I'm definitely gonna have to change the screen so you can see it easier. So I didn't see a direct menu button here. Oh, and it's touch. That's right, it did say it was touch. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. So we got system here. This is pulling the IP address for the current setup. Let me punch in a little bit more so that y'all can see that. And I'm also wondering what that USB port on the back is for. So we can set right here DHCP. It shows what I'm connected to, my mask, the IP address, tally. Again, I'm not using that, but we could set that to if the stuff is working. I want to see if I can actually engage this camera with that. Reset, where we can do a factory reset or just reset the preferences. Other settings, your beep, definitely going to turn that off because I don't need to hear that. Backlight, I guess that's for the screen here. Screen lighting, that's the levels of the lighting. So if all right, so that changes the brightness there. Then we have the brightness for the keys and for the RGB lighting. I'm assuming that is for these buttons over here. All right, then we have our version, and we're on version 1.5 for the MCU, and for the software, it is version 1.3.105. All right, really, really interesting. We got our camera information for the different camera that we're set to, and man, it's a lot on this one. So let's see, how do we get? I don't see a native escape button to get up out of here. All right, so the knobs will help us go through here, and if we push in, that will select, okay. And then our value knob, okay, the value knob will change which location that we're on, okay. All right, so now let's back out of here. I wish there was a direct back out button, and I may be missing it. But let's go here, and then we have quick access to our commands that we can set. Let's go here to search. And we're going to we can search for NDI, on VIF, and IPVisca. Now, we had just did a review on the Avkans Go, and this is NDI, and I'm wondering, I'm gonna turn this on, because this is NDI, I do have it set. I wanna see if I can actually control that, because that would be really cool, especially if we talked about using something like this in the baptismal pool and it can connect over NDI, then you can control it. Alrighty, so let's go to a search. We're gonna be searching for IPVisca. And we got 2 of my cameras. 93 is what I'm looking at right now. 94 is that one. I'm surprised the one that's right above me is not showing, nor is my PTZ Optics one. That is strange. So let's go back and let's search for on VIF. And see, now still not showing 92, which is the one that's right above me. That is very, very strange. And 58, that's not a camera. All right, so let's try and add one manually. So we can do these in groups. I don't need to do mine in groups. So this is gonna be actual camera number 2 for me. And the model, let's see. That is, all right, so the scroll wheel won't go through there. The knob doesn't go there either. So we're just gonna do normal. I don't know what exactly that is. So the IP address, let's go ahead and put that in. 2.168. Let me finish typing it in. That is strange. Let me go ahead and just add one based off of the fact that it actually shows up. So I'll add this one in front of me. That's 93. I will make that camera number 3. And it looks like it's already set up most of the URL. Let's go ahead and save that. And it's there. So now if we do camera 3, all right, it says it's successfully connected. So it doesn't, now the screen updates for the functions that I have. Let's see, do we have other to where it'll let me turn off the AI on this one? It doesn't look like it does. So I'm not going to be able to control it while the AI is on. I wish that this would actually have this automatically pull that because it's the function. So this might have to be, all right, wait a minute, stop tracking. There it is. That's command 3. So if we do command or stop tracking, so it's still on. But I want to know, so that's command 3. So that's F5. So that's what this is set to. So if I do F5, it sent the command to stop, but see it's still tracking. Need to probably look through the commands to be able to do that. See, it says AI start, but it's still going there, still coming back to me. So not exactly sure why that one isn't functioning like that, but we got it there. So let's see if the preview, will the preview show up on here? No video feed, please check settings. So we would have to go back here and fix the settings on that. So that's where this, it says IP. I thought it would have put that in. So that's 1.9. Why doesn't the keys work? So let's put this in 192.168.0.93. All right, so let's save that. Now let's see, does the preview show up? Still not. It's probably, I don't know the full path of what this camera has on there. So that's there. I'm really wondering why this camera is not showing up in the list. Because this camera is using Visco over IP. So let's go add another one. Let's go here to camera 2. We can change the name here. That'll be a pain. I'm wondering if you should be able to access this and make changes on here. That might be a lot easier. We'll change the protocol, Visca IP. Let's change the IP address here. Doesn't allow me to easily change this. Okay, I guess gotta type over it. Okay, the knob is what changes that. There it goes. Now there's 0, and let's do 92. And the port is the same, so now we hit save. So now let's go to camera 2. This is the overhead. Okay, it did connect. So I don't know why the search didn't do it. So now, if I zoom out, so now we're controlling the camera that's right above me. All right, and we go to preview. This is again another setting. And I didn't realize there's a button on top of the joystick. Okay. Kind of good that we go through here. So now we've added a couple of joysticks. Now I want to see if I can add the NDI one. So let's do an inquiry again, and let's punch in just a little bit. Actually, let's do search. And we're going to search for NDI. And this should be 141. Oh, excuse me, 171. And there it is. It shows up right there. Slick. So for me, this would be camera number 5. It's got the name and everything like that. So that's pretty slick. So let me hook this up to the system. All right, so the camera is set up right now. So that's camera number 3. So if I cut over to here, and I'm going to use the joystick to zoom in and out. See, it says PTZ is locked. So it's not letting me do that. Oh, I'm not actually on the camera. My bad. So we go to camera 5. All right, so we're now connected. So if I zoom, there we go. Yay. So that actually does work with here. That's really cool. So now I can have access to actually control this camera. So technically I probably could put this as my overhead. Now I just got to figure out how to get power to it remotely, but then there's your NDI one. So if you did get something like this for a baptismal, then it can work from there. So that's cool. So now you can add NDI cameras, you can add traditional connected ones, 422, 485, 232. Then you have the other protocols, Pelco, all the ones, and you have Visca over IP. Don't know why this one didn't show up in the search, but hey, there we go. So now let's go add one more. Let's search one more time and see if 191, which is the other one, shows up. See, it doesn't show here. So we're gonna have to just add this one here manually. The IP address is 192.168. Why doesn't that let me? We're gonna have to come back to this. So let's look back at system here, and the IP address is 114. Let's cut over to the computer and let's see if we can get into this and there's a web interface, because that is just a pain for me. Because tapping on it, I would hope it would bring up that bigger menu like we did and we can actually type in. But let's go ahead and cut over to the desktop and let's see, because again, the IP address is 114. So let's go look at that. All right, we're back over here. Let us go open up a browser. And again, the IP address is 114. That is what we're looking to go to. So if my browser will open, so we're going to go to 192.168.0.114. Yay, so we can get into it. So typically that is admin. All right. So you can see the two cameras that we did add here. So let's go ahead and let's do the search here and see if it pulls up. See, it's still not pulling up the other one. And if we do on VIF, see 91 shows here, but I know this camera is that one. So let's manually add the other camera. So this is going to be 1. This is going to be Visca over IP. And I would say this is the PTZ. And I actually need to change the order of these numbers, but I've just been doing it this way for so long. So that's PTZ optics, IP 192.168.0.91. That is the port. Boom. So that's done. We did put the right number there. So we can come in here and edit this. This is going to be the overhead. Number 3 is going to be table. And then we have one more that we're going to add, and that one does the show over Visca over IP, which it does. This is the FAMACO. So we will add this to our list. This is going to be camera number 4. All right, so we got all our cameras there. We got them in our order, and the new one, the NDI one, is number 5. So now that we got that, that makes it a lot easier for adding instead of through there. And most of the time, if I have a web interface, I add it through this, so it's good to know about that. Still got to play around with what the USB does. All right, let's go to our system settings. This is where we can set our IPs and all this other stuff. When I get back, when I bring this back home and it stays here, because I know I'm not gonna be able to put it right here because that's too big of a, I don't have enough space for that joystick to go right here in front of me without adjusting stuff. But normally what I would do is come in here and set this to a hard IP address so that if my network is down, all the stuff is still connected, I should still be able to control it. And it looks like that's mainly the access that you have inside of here. Modifying inside of this is just literally giving you ways to log in and make changes and stuff like that. So let's change this to Avkans Go. Alrighty, so there we go. So now let's go ahead and head back over to the joystick. Alrighty, so if we come out of here, we can go to our cameras again. So we got camera 1 and see it does connect. So now if I go straight to this shot here, that's that camera. So we're now connected to that. So we look up, I had the button pressed in on here. I thought it was locked. I guess pressing it in on the top button will lock the joystick. So let's try it again. This is number 1. There we go. So I had the remote locked. That's my fault. So there we go. So we got all the motion and all this other stuff there. All right. So now let's go to number 3, which is right here in front of me. Now let's move that one. And there we go. Up and down, left and right. And let's move this one. Let's look up so you can see the one that's over my head there. Let's go to number 2. There we go. We can do all the motion there. Back to number 3. Let's bring this down. And we look over here to the FAMACO. That's number 4. There it goes. Up, down, left, and right. Good. So if we cut back over here, and I need to move this camera so I'm back in a frame here. Let's go back to our super source here, and let's cut over to number 2. Zoom out a little bit so we can see here. And again, this is where we can change the speed if this is going too fast. So let's turn that down a little bit, and the speed is showing right there. So see, that's a little too fast for me. Still too fast. Let's get this one as slow as, all right, that's a little bit better, especially for here, because I need specific control on here. So we got here. So now let's see the preview, no video feed. Again, this is where I'm gonna have to go in and change the settings for that one. I don't know why it doesn't just pull over the IP address. That would make it so much easier. So, and I wish the numbers on here would work. So that's 192.168.0, and this is 92 because that's the one, the overhead that I am working on. And normally, depending on if this doesn't work, there's normally a slash and some type of name that goes in the end, live video 1. That's the one I'm gonna have to log in and actually see. So we save that. Does the preview work now? No, it does not. So let's find out what that address is. All right, so we had to turn on RTSP on the other ones. So let's see. We got that set. Let's connect to the camera again because I had to reboot it. Now let's preview. See, it still says that's there, and I think that might be a setting, but let's go to number 4. Let's preview that one. Same thing. Now the easiest way to test this is just to go into OBS, find out what the setting is. All right, folks, this is Future AJ. I'm editing actually the video for the controller, but I figured out what was the issue with the display that was going on, and it was mainly all it really was is that the slash in the back of the URL was wrong. So let me show you. So if we go in here and we go to inquire, and we're looking at 1, and if we go to the path, it was literally that there was a slash, and that's all it really was. So if I go here now and do preview, there we go. And if I go to the other cameras, I had to get the exact address. Only one camera is different with its address, and that's this one. But all the rest of them, like you see, I just had to take the slash off. So if I go back to preview, that's the overhead that's right here. If I go to number 3, that's the one right in front of me, as you can see right there. And then if I go to number 4, which is the Famaco right there, this one, and again, I don't know, the network has been slow here, so I have no idea what in the world's going on from here, but there we go. So it was a little bit slower, but this is kind of the same with why I don't use this type of protocol. When it comes to OBS, I have no idea why it was that slow, but there you go. That was just the connection. And I think, oh wait a minute, I switched too fast to show you the Famaco one. So back here on the Famaco, like I said, it was mainly just getting rid of the slash. That's all it really was. So let's get back and let me add this inside the video we're editing. All right, so we got our connections. We got all our cameras set up here. Now, what I noticed off camera, what ended up happening is I picked, when I changed this to be an actual manual IP address, I didn't check my router, and it was conflicting because there's something already on my network at 89. So that kind of caused me some issues here for a little bit. So we're good to go now. So let's go ahead and switch back out to this camera, and then let's do our calls. And I switched back way too fast. So in here, we do have a quick call. We should be able to, when you hit this, and then quick call is on. So it's a button, so now we can turn it on and off. So now we just got to press one number to get to our stuff. So normally this back camera over here is, let me switch back to number 3 so I can move this. This camera right here is the one that I have pointing to my on air sign. So when I do that, I just press one of these buttons. So number one is going to look at the sign. Number two is going to look back at me sitting at the desk. So if I hit number one, and it would help if I was on the right camera when I set the adjustment. So we need that work. So let me switch back to number four and not the camera I'm looking at. Now let's do number one, and that camera should move. And there it goes. So it moved over to the position. Then if I hit number two, then it cuts back over to me sitting at the desk. So really, really straightforward. So let's switch back over here. So with quick call turned on, I just got to press a number. If that's off, that's where you have to do preset, then the number. So this thing has a whole lot of power in it. So what I'm going to do, it is 8 o'clock. Pretty much probably the church is open right now down in Antioch. And this is where at least I have kind of control that I can go around and do this. Let's go ahead and take this, put it down there at the church. Let's see how it functions from there and actually get a first hand on what this would be if you were trying to integrate this and replace something. Again, down there, that is a daisy chained RS-232 connection. So technically in here, I could just plug it into this and then you should be good to go. But I'm gonna try and hook this up and hook it up over IP and just see how that functions. So I can get away from the people speeding up and down the road. So let's go ahead and pack this up and let's head to church. Alrighty, folks, we're here in the media booth at Antioch, and I'll turn you around. See, this is the existing that they have with the RS-232 connection. So technically, we should be able to just do this. Like I said, it already has presets in here. So now I don't have an Ethernet cable that's running here to give this power from the switch that's over there. So we're going to have to use the plug for this for right now. I do have some cables. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to run it, but let me go ahead and hook this up for power. A little difficult to do this one-handed. Alright, so that's what would give it power. And then we just connect this to the connection here. Now when you do this, obviously there's no network connection, so you can't log into it and make any changes or anything like that. But let's go through the setup here. So first, if we go to camera 1, we need to do inquiry, and we need to change this. So instead of VSCA over IP, this is going to be straight VSCA, and the address is going to be camera number 1, which is that one. Then if we go to, we select number 2 and we do an inquiry, we would come in here, change camera 2, change that to also VSCA, and then the address for that is going to be 2. Hopefully y'all can see that. So we'll save that and make sure I didn't save number 1. So I got to do that again. Change that to VSCA. We save that. So now, if we go to camera number 1, all right, we're connected. So now, that's this shot right here. If we move, see, there we go. So we got access to that. So this is for if you have an existing connection. And then if we switch to camera number 2, which is the front one right there, and I still have the speed low from my settings, so I'm going to turn the speed up. As you can see, that's what that top is. So now if we go here, Now we're back to having access to here. So the preview and none of that is going to work because we don't have access to it. Now let me run these cables here. These are just some pre-made cables I had originally when I was doing TCF. And like I said, I'm learning not to throw away stuff. So here's our PoE switch, and that one is available with power. We'll connect that there. And let me set you down for a second. And actually, I think this cable actually is long enough for me to run up under the floor. But if we connect this to our IP, we got power. So if I take off the power cable here, see, we're still on. So yay. So I can put the power cable back. But now let's see if we do a search. And we search for on VIF, IP. And see, it didn't find any cameras. So let's do a search again for on VIF. And see, and it says it can't find anything. I think, yeah, it's got DHCP. And actually, that's not right. It didn't pull an IP address. That was still the one saved from home, and I'm on the wrong port. That is a port that I set up for security camera, so I gotta log in and change that. Alrighty, so I got a network set up now. So we're getting an IP address locally here. So let's now go to search, and let's search for on VIF. And that's strange, it still says it can't find any cameras, which is very, 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 very strange. But let's go ahead and just add it manually, because I already know what the actual cameras are. So it starts at 234. So we're going to manually add one. We'll set this camera to number 4 for right now. That is going to be IP. And we change that last value to 234. And we'll just save that for right now. So now if we come out and go to camera 4, see, and we got a connection. So, that's actually the front. I thought it was the back. So there we go. We have access to everything there. So really straightforward. Let's see. Will it automatically pull over the preview? The preview still is not set up, but makes it very, very smooth. I don't know what's going on with the search though, but again, this could give some more function as well. And I'm gonna catch everybody off guard, see how they like using this today. I need to make sure that the functions for the protocol still work. So we have presets in here. So let's see if we have it on quick. So we got podium. So there's our commands working the same way. I press 2, wide shot, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 8 actually needs to change. 8 needs to be right there, because that's what the right mic is. So we'll store that as position 8. So that'll be 8 store. Let me turn that off. So that'll be 8 up. It moved it on me. That's why you need to make sure quick call is not on. Take quick call off. So we'll do 8 store. So now it should be saved. So now if we turn back on quick call, let's go to position 1, position 8, and it didn't save. So We're gonna have to, I'm probably using these backwards, but the good thing is the positions are in there. I need to reposition this one anyway. But I think that's about it. So let's take this back home. Well, actually, I'm gonna use this for Sunday, see how they like that, and then let's cut back over home and we'll close out this video. All right, so I think that's about it. As you can see, finished just editing this. I'm doing the last closing out for this. But like I said, a very good joystick as well as a transitional one. So if you're already using an older, kind of like the Huddle Cam that that's at Antioch, that is RS232, this is a good transitional camera. And it can mix and match protocols. So say you still have the RS232 and we're going to be adding another camera, a side PTZ at Antioch, that one I can just have it VSCO over IP and then don't have to worry about daisy chaining it, and then it can help transition. And then say you decide to change out your RS232s, you can switch that out to one that uses VSCO over IP, and then you just change the protocol. So I do like the fact that it can support pretty much all the available protocols that I'm aware of that these cameras can do, and you got it right there. Now the main thing is going to be the price. Now normally I would tell y'all the price at the very beginning, but I wanted to wait to the very end. So, and this is the reason why. This joystick is the original AV-Joy IP. This is the one that I've been using and I install a lot, and you can tell because I got dust on it. But this one is going for around $425. That's how much this one is going for, give or take. Now, the new AV-Joy-Pro is going for $450. So $25 more, and you actually get more features as well too. So I hope you like the suspense of that not breaking the budget. It's literally $25 more. You get and I never set these side by side. Let me do this real quick so you can just see here. So here we go, significantly more. We have the same type of keypad. You got more function, well, you got the same amount of function buttons here that you have on this one. Obviously the bigger screen, you have some more controls. I never found out what the OP, autofocus, and auto white balance was. We'll figure that out in the future. But we got our preview, and for a $25 jump in price, I personally think that's a deal. And I didn't even mention it also the fact that it can control NDI cameras as well too. So really, really cool that you can have this camera, older RS232, 422, 485, VSCO over IP, Pelco, on VIF, NDI. It can pretty much control all of them. I did call out a couple of issues. I don't know if that's my network being protective, why I couldn't search for some stuff. It's possible. I do have a lot of stuff in rules and everything here on my network, so you might not be aware of that, but I've called those things out. If it doesn't search, you can always just manually add them. So link is down below if you're interested in getting one of these. Again, thank you Avkans for sending these great products out to me so I can review and then let all of y'all be aware of it, and let me be y'all's guinea pig before y'all end up buying any of the stuff. Again, this is going to be added to my collection of equipment. I have no idea. It's highly unlikely that that joystick can fit right there, but you never know. We'll figure it out. But anyway, I think that's about it. Like I think I mentioned, link is down below if you're interested in getting one and all that other good stuff. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell, that way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. Catch you on the next video. Later.